back in I'm reading and breaking down.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Right. And this is a future prophecy, okay, about the golden city of Babylon, America, ceasing, coming to an end. Okay? And we're set, you know, to prophesy downfall of this place. Prophesy meaning to take forward. Alright? Somebody hold Jeremiah 28.
Hey, why is it referred to as golden though? Because gold does what? It gives off this extravagant, lavish type of setting, and that's why it's a devastating thing when we read this, because I mean the Lord is coming to shake something that thought was to be unshakable. You know, everybody thought the whole world thought Esau couldn't be taken down. Everybody thought this way of life couldn't be broken, and you got this power that nobody's, you know, thought or talked about coming in here and just, you know, raining down the party.
Isaiah 14 and 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked.
Right. Hey, staff goes into you know, rulership, and you know, that scepter, that staff. Okay? The Lord is breaking it, man. And it begins with us prophesying about it, man. It begins with the words of the Lord coming out. Matter of fact, what is it, first 2 Thessalonians? 2 and I think it's 2 and 7. Yeah, start right there. You know, because it begins with a prophecy. Right? Before destruction of a society happens.
You done?
All right, the Lord says the warning out, man.
You done for a little bit? Yeah.
Are you going to
no, it's
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right. So this is saying the prophets that have been of old. All right. So this is back in the beginning, all the kingdoms. All right. It says what again?
The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
Right. Right. Well, I think it says against many great countries. Right.
And against great kingdoms.
Right. Right. And against many countries and great kingdoms. Okay. And America is considered a great kingdom. Okay. So just as you know, prophets were sent forth to prophesy the downfall of the ancient kingdom. All right. It's no different from Babylon, man. It's no different from America. All right. It don't matter. Everybody think, you know, this place be untouchable. That's why the scriptures call it the virgin daughter of Babylon, man. Right? Because it's the virgin, you know, the cloud has never been touched. See? But it's gonna be touched. Yeah.
The prophet which prophesied of peace when the
last part.
The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right, those three things, man. All right? And that's all we can really prophesy about, man. It's war, evil, and pestilence. Okay, beginning with war. All right, you got the war right now with Russia and Ukraine. All right, which is eventually going to turn into an all-out conflict, man. All right, it's going to lead to World War III. All right? And it's going to be the war to end all wars, man. All right? Scriptures speak about how the ancient wars was fought with armies rolling blood and loud noise. This was going to be fought with fire and fuel and smoke. So those nukes is going to be used, man. All right? So that's what we prophesied, man. The destruction, the nuclear destruction is coming. And it says of evil goes in a bad time. It's always coming, bad time. let's say it's in your passage. Everybody think that the CD19 is over with, man. Right? But your boy Fauci, man, he's back on the scene. All right? He's seen like never left. Right, back on the scene with the gangster living, you know? And so you saying that it's gonna be another wave of that stuff, man. You know what that you gotta use code words, but you know that CD19. Okay? So that's all it's coming to. Oh, you go back to that and say.
Well, what's the ultimate message of that scripture though? Because when the prophets would preach, every time a country or a kingdom was spoken against, what happened? It was destroyed. It's the same outcome. And America is no different, because America is also considered a great country, a great kingdom. There's nothing different about this place from any other empire that ruled, and the same outcome is going to come to America.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom from the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Right. That wicked is talking about Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. All right, he's being revealed as the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. All right. Pursuing to Job 9 and 24, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, man. Okay. That's your elite banking families, man. Okay? So
and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Well, it said before they're going to destroy with the spirit of his mouth, okay, which is talking about the prophets, man. All right? The Lord ain't gonna come down and speak to y'all directly, man. He uses us as vessels to speak to the people. All right, to warn of the impending judgment, man. Okay?
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs of lying wonders.
Right. And that's how this devil operates, man, through the power of Satan. Man. All right, this is the left-hand side of the Heavenly Father. He's that opposite counterpart, all right, to manifest the Most High's will from the left-hand side, man. All right, they deal with all type of sorcery and witchcraft, you know, astrology, all right? And that's how they get all their technology on how to rule and to deceive the people, okay? It's through that witchcraft, man, okay? You got it. Yeah.
All right, verse 10. And with all deceivableness of the unrighteousness in them that perish.
Right. With all deceivableness, unrighteousness in them that perish, man. See, so, and then the 2/3 mark, what is it? 2 Corinthians 4 and 3 to 4. You know, the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. And the God of this world is Esau Edom, man. All right, he's that power that he's in the power seat, man. Okay, he's deceiving the whole world. But luckily, you know, the Lord, he's shining that light, man, through his prophet. Okay, so it will behoove you to take heed to their warning, man. Speak to our people. All right, to the other nations, you saw you, some white man. Lord, hey, it's a judgment for y'all, man. Okay, we here to prophesy strict judgment for the heathen nation. All right, Esau, they got no chance, man. Scripture say though they saw the Camp Pt2 with tears. The Lord, they don't got no chance of repentance, man. Let me jump back to my bad voice. Let me jump back to Isaiah 14.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 21. And it reads,
Still deep.
Revelation chapter 18 verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
Right. Hey, this place is going out with a bang, man. Literally. Okay? With the ultimate plague of those roots. ICBM nuclear missiles, man. All right. I was just watching a documentary the other day about the Cold War. You know, and how you had you know, the two superpowers competing back then, the Soviet Union, all right, versus America, man. All right, capitalism versus communism, man. Okay, and then you had the whole you know, race to build the biggest nuke or whatever. All right, and then they came up with the agreement called the MAD agreement. Okay, which stands for mutually assured destruction. Okay, and they agreed to never use those nukes because if they did, it caused destruction on both sides. All right, but guess what? Those nukes is gonna be used, man. All right, in World War III, which is brewing up right now, man. People think that this conflict with Ukraine is just gonna be swept under the rug and be done away with. No, it's gonna keep building and building, man. All right.
It's the book Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 5. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
Right. Yeah, that's Esau, man. All right. The elites, they spoke. They showed you that in the documentary, Confessions of the Economic Hitman. Okay, that's a good watch because they show you how they go to how they covet goods from these other nations, man. All right, and they send in public leaders. They do what they got to do. They send in the CIA. All right, to take down their leader. All right, and set up, you know, those that's going to be in agreement with the West, doing what they want to put their agenda in those countries. Man. All right, so they constantly, what they say, in the earth with a continuous struggle. And I think in Jeremiah, I want to say 50 and 23, where it say how the hammer on the whole earth broke.
Yep.
That's all you mean, the hammer on the whole earth, man. All right, he's the bully of the earth. All right, they got U.S. embassies set up in all major of the earth, man. They got military bases over there, man.
200,
ready to go at it.
262,000 militarized zones throughout the earth,
Right.
but only one in America.
See, that's it.
Yep.
So it goes to show you, man, the type of, you know, stronghold they got over the earth, man. That's the reason why all these nations is angry with America, man. And that's the reason why they've been stockpiling their nukes and get prepared to dump them over here, man. Okay?
It says, Isaiah 14 and 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth.
All right, yeah, and speaking of the kingdom to come, man. All right, this is going to be Esau. Read that again? Yeah.
Niggas still have the same cigarette.
Isaiah 14 and 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
That's Esau.
He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth.
That's when the nation rises up.
Nobody's going to care about Esau, and that's all. Babylon.
He's going to have big for him. And then it really goes with that Joel 20 where he says, all the nations are wicked. Look that word up. Wicked. I maul those that's being oppressed, those that's being overworked and stuff like that. That's how we work. Going to being oppressed. So the hand of the wicked is.
I got a preset for you, Ahmad.
When they reach.
I got one for you when he's done.
You know? And then it goes with Isaiah 33. Go to them that are who's spoilers and what's not spoiled.
Yep.
It's America doing all the spoiling, but America's never been spoiled by any nation. You see? And the Lord's gonna set it up to where it doesn't do that.
Got your preset.
Your precept.
I'm going to read this real quick for you. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse, I'll start at verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
Yeah,
And
those talking about the nuclear missile warheads. Because that's how America's going to be obliterated. That's how the new superpower is going to come into play.
yep.
See, not going to go out with a fight. Right now, Russia, China, they all fighting who's going to lead the new world order. That's what's happening. Right. That's why they fight over the Ukraine, because that is a strategic spot for the hoist all the the resources.
Yep.
You see, and as long as Russia controls that pipeline, all right, they're going to be able to fuel the whole world. Okay, and that's why prices. See, Esau wants you to, Biden. I say Byron, right? Biden wants you to be mad at Putin. Why they're pulling wool over the Americans' eyes. They want you to be mad at Putin, but the whole time inflation is being brought upon you by your own government. See, a lot of people, they want you to fight and believe in a boogeyman while the whole time they're running game. Okay?
Y'all take money for anything?
Money? I mean, we take offers and stuff. If you want to.
I toss a Venmo if you guys got an app for me.
I don't got that.
I don't either.
Cash app?
Yeah, I got cash. Yeah, cash.
Why you put me in?
But yeah, but basically what's coming to the world, man, all right, it's a third world war. And there's nothing nobody can do about it. And it's our job to just tell them. We don't have no skin in it to do that. But we don't really have, we just tell them.
Okay.
So that's what we do.
Me. This is Jeremiah 50:10. It says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage.
He might be a Jay. He might be one of us. Since when you see Edom? Since when you see Edom, like you want to give alms? Over that too. But he could be a Jay.
It's a guessing game now.
He could be one of us.
He said it's a guessing game.
But it says, because you were glad.
Dude might be a Jay. Go ahead.
It says, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O you destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as a heifer at grass and bellow at bulls. It says, your mother shall be so confounded.
But that's Britain.
Right.
That's the mother. You see? She's going to be sore confounded. They call it between the two. Go ahead.
She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness.
See? And this is why the nations, they're going to turn against them. Go ahead.
The hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land and a desert.
See? It's going to be a dry land and a desert. You see? With all the forest life, and in life here, it's not going to be here now.
Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited.
The wrath of the Lord. All right? Okay. Go ahead.
But it shall be wholly desolate.
Oh, it says wholly desolate. Okay?
Yep.
And that, see, and this was prophesied during the time when Babylon, I think, was thriving. Okay? And when it came, when destruction never came upon Babylon, it was just a transfer of nations. It was just a transfer of ruling bodies.
Yep.
The next nationality of people came and they took over the Babylon.
Yep.
It's talking about Babylon being completely wiped away.
Yep.
Now, who is it talking about? It's not talking about the ancient Babylon.
Because it's still there.
It's talking about the modern day Babylon, which is Esau, Edom.
Yep.
According to according to Psalms 137. You see?
It says, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate.
Holy desolate. That means
Entirely.
entirely. Oh,
Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
right.
It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about.
Right. Hold on. Read that last part.
It says, put yourselves in array.
Right. The part before that.
Oh, it says, everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
Right. They're going to be astonished and they're going to hiss at all her plagues. He might be a G. He might be one of them. See? Okay.
It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon around about.
Right. Round about.
All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her.
All those that got nuclear capabilities, all right? And that's the nations that the Lord is raising up. The heathen, the dead, they are alive.
The devil's alive. It says, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows.
Ooh, spare no arrows. We're going to need all of that to obliterate this place, man. We got to cleanse, the Lord got to cleanse this place. Okay? Hey, all you need is 2,000 more. I mean, let me see, 100,000. They got them, almost that number in the world. The nations combined, it's 100,000. All right, all it would take, because each warhead would carry cluster bombs up to 2,000 different cluster bombs, and that you get your number there in
200 million.
200 million, 200,000, 200 million.
Yep.
That's easy. That's easy work for the Lord. You're gonna need some. It's gonna take that much to destroy this place. It's gonna take 100 billion of those warheads to wipe it the first time, then another 100,000.
A wave. It's overtime. It says, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord.
Yep.
Shout against her round about, she hath given her hand.
Y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble.
It says, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down.
And what is this referred to as? This is what we're talking about, the thermometer is referred to as what?
The vengeance of the Lord?
It's the good oh, that's it.
Well, what do you...
No. That's a Christian death.
But I mean,
Well, what do you ask again?
No, but the second death.
Oh, okay, come.
It's referred to as the second death. Okay, because the first death was what? By water. The second death is going to be by way of fire. Okay?
This place is reserved unto fire.
Pressure everywhere. It says, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord.
Oh, it's the vengeance of the Lord. So when the Christians talk about, pray for America, pray for them. No, nobody gonna be able to pray for America. See, all right. So somebody get Babylon's golden cup. I know we had it earlier. Get it.
Want to finish?
Yeah.
It says, take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her.
Right. And so that's what's going to be done tonight. All the blood that was shed, that's what's done. So it should be done in turn. So all the wicked, all the bombs they dropped on people, we're going to do it to them.
Yep.
That's how to do it. Hey, somebody Revelation 19.
You got that one, or you want another one? Got it? Yeah? Oh.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right, they're mad. So they're mad at Babylon. Great Babylon. Babylon is great. Egypt, Sodom, whatever you want to call it. That's you all that. And some. All right? So if the Lord is making all these nations turn against you. Okay? For all your wickedness, all the evil that you're doing. All right? You're going to make it small among the heathen. And you ain't nobody going to be there to help. There's nobody going to save America. Ain't nobody can pray for America. Because it's already on the hit list. In fact, in the spirit world, all right, it's already been crossed out on the hit list. The hitman comes with assassination, you got to assassinate somebody, so you got a list of names. He crossed them out as he killed. America's already crossed out. It's like taking the spirit world.
Did you finish that one?
So shall it be
Lawyer.
on earth. All right? And the Lord has already got the victory in heaven. It's already sold. It's already sold up. The game, the term they use, the game is sold up.
It's already been preached.
Yep, that's right.
It's gonna go forward.
The movie's just in play right now. That's it.
That's it. It's just in play.
Did you got something?
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed.
Right, she ain't gonna be healed. Go ahead.
Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Huh?
Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country.
And that's what they're going to do. That's what people have been doing. They've been forsaken Babylon and going into their own country.
For her judgment reacheth unto heaven. and is lifted up even to the skies.
Right, it's lifted up, judgment up to heaven, it's even lifted up to the skies. Okay? So, the Lord, all right, is reached the Lord. So this place was so bad, wickedness flowed so great in the earth by way of this whole Babylon, that it caught the attention of the Lord. He said, hold up, wait a minute. Go ahead.
Keep going.
I think that's go to 11 and 18.
Let's go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. So like, you have something?
No, go ahead.
That's all right, go ahead.
Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead.
Why is the nations angry? Okay. The nations are angry because of what? Because the wine that this America has pushed to them, the philosophy, the lies. Okay, go ahead.
God, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come.
The wrath is come. Go ahead.
And the time of the dead.
And the time of the dead. Now, some idiot broke this down as the dead being the dead in the Lord, the dead in Mashiach, according to 1 Thessalonians 4:17. That ain't the dead that it's talking about. It's talking about the heathen nations. All right, read that part again.
God, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged.
They should be judged. All right, the heathen nations, they're going to be judged by way of World War III, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the House Shabbat. Okay, go ahead.
And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets.
Right. Okay. Right, it's the time of our reward when the America's destroyed. Okay? I didn't write the book. I get to read it to you like a bedtime story. That's my favorite book to go to sleep to. Go ahead.
And to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Who destroying the earth? Right, now now they talking a whole great ordeal about climate change and carbon footprints, this, that, and the third. But you've been destroying the earth. You think the Lord ain't take notice? Okay? The Lord notices. All right? The Lord notices and the Lord sees. Okay? So no matter what you come in with your climate change, all right, that's not gonna save, that's not gonna erase what you've done. See? But you've been the one destroying. Is to punish people, put people in the Stone Age, all right, and put all these different laws and regulations, new regulations that they went out, so because they don't want people to thrive the way they've been thriving. But again, they're the hand of the Lord. So it's through the Lord. It's, hey, what are y'all about Shimmy Al-Shai for? Because he's gonna put down all these proud people. Yeah. What about?
I'm saying like those wild.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
the problem. Just coming and act like a savior.
Yeah, his solution is to blot out the sun to help make it colder.
Yep, and so what he's gonna be pitching to you is, he's gonna be pitching, he's gonna be saying stuff like, as far right now, the big thing is about meat. You see, right? You don't eat meat. You're gonna help the world out or something like that. Don't drive as much. You're gonna help reduce CO2 emissions and all of that stuff. But what about General Motors? What about Ford? They've been doing this shit for 100 years. More than 100 years. Putting the CO2 emissions in the air, man. And the greenhouse gases. So why in fact they're giving these damn companies more and more money. See? Well, this devil ain't trying to help nothing out of the world. Okay? The Lord's gonna visit you for all the wicked evil things that you've done.
Bringing down CO2 levels, that's just a disguise for bringing down according to Bill Snakes, you know, the TED talk that he had, they so far trying to reduce the CO2 levels in the earth. They, you know, humans, you know, breathe out carbon dioxide. So they're saying, well, in order to bring that down, you got to reduce the population through various means. You know, through sterilization, through, you know, that juice, you know, and all that. So that's really a guide for the population, you know. But just flat out right now. Yeah, population control, you know.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities.
Right. That's matter of fact, you get 2 Timothy, said her sins have reached unto heaven. That's a lot of sin, man. You know, that's a lot of iniquity. All right, this iniquity means sin upon sin. This devil's track record is so bad that it reached unto the heaven. That's why the judgment that's coming to the devil is perfect. It's his just due. You know? It said, and the Lord have remembered her iniquity. And the only reason why the Lord wasn't remembering is because it was just for a time in the season, for him to do what he was gonna do. You know? And then once he woke up, like the scripture say, when the elect before the seal, then shall the destruction. So you're coming into that time.
Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you. And double unto her double according to her works.
So if you're gonna get double, okay? What's that commercial? Double your pleasure, double your fun. Double mix. You double thinking. Hey. So the hell that you put on Jake? And imagine that, like, Esau he the true baseman of the planet. All he did is successful, but he got to do double what we did. You know, we was out there in the field, picking cotton, doing all that different stuff, agricultural work. He gonna have no melanin in the kingdom. He gonna be out there getting burnt the hell up. You know, it's you wonder how he gonna survive it, but you know that's what the spiritual power is looking for. You know? Raise him back up. You know. Yeah.
Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double.
Yep.
How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously.
Right. And you know, that's the thing. You know, when you read Luke the 16th chapter, around the 19th verse, it goes into the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. You know? That's her living deliciously, you know, like the rich man, man, faring sumptuously every day, like, you know. And we represent Lazarus, man. You know, begging for the crumbs at the rich man's table. All right, but what did he do? He ignores it, man. All right. Matter of fact, the man had to grab that, you know, that parable, but yeah, you know. So this is the righteous recompense for you, your next meal.
Time. Revelation 18 and 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Right. Like they say in their heart that their house will continue forever. So they don't think that no hell is going to come from them. You know? We see Edomites all day long, they walk around, smiling, laughing, you know, proud. You got a few every now and then that'll, you know, come through like we just had one come through, you know, get home, you know. That happens, like, so, but by and large, Edomites, they just in a proud state of mind. But that's perfect because that lines up with Lamentations the 4th chapter. Rejoice, O daughter of Edom. You know, live it up. Have your fun while you still can. Okay?
I'm thinking where it says, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. I think about Obadiah where it says, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You know, he shall think he'll see no sorrow, that he'll never be brought down, you know. The Lord, it's already prophesied in the scriptures. Verse 8, Revelation 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh power who judges her.
Right. That's plain. You know, that utterly burned with fire is talking about the dudes. You know? Utterly. north, south, east to west, man. All gonna be just decimated. Oh yeah, yeah.
This book of 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness.
Well, hey, you brought that out in Jeremiah 28th chapter. Same thing.
For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Right, just as in the days of Noah, man. Wickedness was that, was everywhere. It was running rapid, So it's the same time now, man. All right? And then it was the first death with the water. Now it's going to be the second death with the fire. Okay?
And their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Fulfilled. It's fully, it's tipping over, man. The water, until the water in the bucket is just boiling over, man. Or you just let the water run too long in the tub, It's iniquity is full. It's reached up to the heaven.
Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
Right. The Lord, he ain't holding his tongue no more, man. All right? We represent the Lord's tongue, man, the prophet. Okay? So he ain't holding back. He had it up to here with it.
Which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things, in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Right, because this is all that's on these people's minds, man, is just exercising wickedness, man. If your mind ain't on the Lord, man, it's on self-pleasure. All right? Which the scriptures say that the carnal mind is enmity with the Most High. All right? So all these people that's just thinking about self, not giving a thought, to the Most High, the Lord gonna give everybody a wake-up call, man. Okay? He's gonna show you that he exists. Hey, he's gonna make them believers, man. All right? Scripture said, not scripture, but Elder Apostle Before he said, well, words can't teach, adversity will. Yeah.
In which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
Right, that's us. We crying unto the Lord continually, man. See? And that links up with Ezekiel 9 and 4. Set a mark upon the man that's high and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay? And the Lord would have, that's us. That mark goes into the why, meaning an exemption from judgment. Okay? Which spiritually speaking, in today's time, because you got Esau, he got his mark, all right, and on the left hand side, and the Lord got his on the right. Esau's gonna provide, try to offer a way of salvation through his carnal mark, and you got many that's gonna choose that path because they gonna lack faith. But we gonna trust in the spiritual mark for a while.
Well, it goes back to so like I was just saying, it goes back to Isaiah 31, because they see this place thriving. They believe that this is going to be the logical decision, That goes into being destroyed with no knowledge, man. If you knew what was really going on, you wouldn't choose the path that Esau is going to try to provide. So, that's why you're destroyed. So,
This is the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Right. Hey, everybody that's rich, man, in this world. All right? Mainly talking about the elites, Now they gonna, the elites of the elites, the riches, they gonna get away, for a time. They got the underground bunkers. All right, but really the Lord is just preserving them for to be the first fruits of slavery, man. All right, they're the elect of the wicked, man. Chosen for to be the first fruits of slavery.
You're gonna see David Rockefeller in the kingdom, man. Just getting his ass beat. He's old as hell.
Right. Old ass David Rockefeller. They're gonna grab them up, come up under them wherever they at, man.
Yep.
All right. right? They think they still behind a big ass. Cause I seen them. They'll show you they got cities underground.
Yep.
With doors that's like big as from that pole to that tree, like big ass doors, man. 10, 15 feet deep or wide, you know what I'm saying? But Chris Carver, he's going to appear before them.
Yep.
You know, they ain't gonna have to break down the door. You know, some brothers might do it. You know, just break the door for the hell of
Be theatrical, dramatic.
Appear through it like your house shot. They gonna be just sitting there chilling, thinking just a big old, you know what I'm saying, with a new body just right there, glowing.
I'm gonna read it again. James 5:1. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten.
Right. The riches is corrupted, man. What's the scripture that say, got riches by deceit? You know? Right, so right 10 and 8, man. That's how they got their riches, man. It's through deceit. You know? But the scripture say, woe to him that built a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. Have a people to it. And that woe means destruction, man. So the way that they build up the society, they got to pay for that, man. You know, the Lord in the heavens allow them to do what they do. Same way they'll indict a Jake, you know, in the hood. They'll sit there and watch you sell your drugs. First they'll put the drugs there, watch you sell it, tally up all what you're doing, and then they'll round you up, you know, and indict you. Well, that's what the Lord is doing as a whole to this devil, man. Okay?
Fine, verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Right. And your treasure, your gold, that ain't gonna deliver you. You know? Let's see, Proverbs
scripture.
26 and 14, I said? No. Proverbs 11 and 11:5. We'll say riches popping down the day.
Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Right. So, you know, everybody that trusts in the riches, you know, that's why the scripture say, Lord, that trust in uncertain riches, you know, that ain't gonna profit you, man. You remind me of the scene in Titanic, where you had the dude, the rich man that paid for the seat on the boat. You know, he had gave one of the boat attendants as the ship was going down. He gave him a wad of cash, you know. And he was like, hold a spot for me on the boat. And then when he came back to get on the boat and everything, all cash was breaking down, he was like, and everybody rushing to get on that lifeboat, he was all like, hey, what about that money I gave you? And then he threw the money back at him. He was like, yo, riches, your money can't save you no more than it can save you. So riches ain't gonna profit you.
Yep.
Say, but righteousness delivered from death, man. So it's according to a man's righteousness, man. A righteous work.
Yeah, this is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 5 and 8. Set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in day of calamity.
I think so perfectly what is read. All right, they rely on these riches unjustly gotten. You know, and even if they seem to get away, they ain't gonna escape. What's that? Amos, like Amos the 9th chapter?
That's exactly, yeah.
Because the wicked, they gonna, you know, it may seem like they're getting away.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 1. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away.
Right. All right. Hey, the elites, you know, they gonna flee He said, he that fleeth of them, they ain't gonna flee away. You know, because they just being reserved. They're gonna go to their bunkers in the heavens, in the ground, wherever. Yeah.
He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered.
Right. So, though they seem to escape, they not gonna be delivered.
Hey, go to
They still gonna be and they just gonna be on reserve down there. You know, they got their little wine, and you know I think it's like a couple million to get like a nice little bunker on the ground. All right. But that ain't gonna deliver them.
Verse 2, though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them.
Right. And hell is just talking about in the earth. Right. And they've been doing that for a long time. This good.
Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
All right, they space stations, you know, they got little reserves up there. That's a stupid place to be, really, because we was a regular line of fire, man. Chariots all up there, man. You know, yeah.
And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence.
Right, they got military bases in the mountains, man. You know, bunkers in the mountains.
And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
Right. They even got bunkers in the ocean. They say you're gonna command the serpent, which is the lion, to fight them. Okay. So point being is that they're not gonna get away from it. All right. Yep. They're gonna have to deal with what they reap what they sow.
Yep. This will prove it right there. You got a preset.
Okay. This is the book of Job, chapter 28.
27.
27, 27.
13.
Verse 13.
Yep.
This is the portion of the wicked, of a wicked, this is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread.
Right. What it say? So they be multiplied as just for a sword. You know, Isaiah 14 and what is it, 14 and 20.
Prepare slaughter for the children.
Slaughter for the children, for the iniquity of their fathers, because they are their fathers. Man. They like to say, "Oh, I wasn't there, I didn't do it." All right, but they don't understand the reincarnation. And furthermore, you benefit for what you did in your past life. Man. You set yourself up for this time, man.
Yep.
You know, reaping the benefits. Right. Look, yep. God. So, yeah.
Verse 15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay.
Right. Hey, they got tons of gold too. You know, what's her name?
Chloe. Didn't Khloe Kardashian did something just recently? I think
Oh, yeah.
something in a bunker.
Yeah.
With her ugly fat ass. Yeah. Yeah.
All these celebrities, they get ready and all that. But we just like
Verse 16. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay.
Yeah, they got actual Swiss pinks that'll show you on their documentaries and shit like that, all the gold they've heaped up, they've vaulted up. They got like racks that hold like 55 million worth of bars of gold. But they have like, I think like, shit, I'm just throwing a random number, like 50 of those racks. Just imagine how much that is. Yeah, yep.
Why would you rather have tons of gold just go down there and look at it? Like, they gonna put gold got a, you know, like a vibration to it, man. Lightning vibration.
Yeah.
That's probably why they take it away, because they're like, you use too much of it. Yeah, we don't want to become righteous, you know. That's why, who knows, but it's a scripture that say, they swallow down riches, but they shall vomit them up again.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
Verse 17. He may compare it, but the just shall put it on. And the innocent.
Hey, it said, but the just shall put it on.
Yep.
So all that gold that they got, that belongs to us. Man.
Yep.
Okay? We're gonna get all that back in this one.
Yep.
See? So we're gonna have them, dumping down the gold and building stuff.
Well, what proves that? What proves that is the scripture where it said that restitution shall be double. So, yep.
They can walk around and just they try to block it out their mind and ignore the prophet and just the judgment is gonna go away. People say, well, some did not believe till it make the faith for the most sign without effect. See, so they walk around haughty and proud and acting like they close their ears to it, but guess what? Your judgment is still gonna come.
Yep.
See?
And the innocent shall divide the silver. He buildeth his house as a moth and as a booth that the keeper maketh.
So pretty much, man, like Scripture says, the blood for the sinner is laid for the just. And even on the before all of that, you got a lot of people prepping. Got all this different stuff they prepping for death and trouble. They, for all hell to break loose, but they ain't gonna even be able to take advantage of that. Just to throw that out there, because they don't know.
The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He openeth his eyes, and he is not. Terrors take hold on him as water, Terrors take hold on him as waters. A tempest stealeth him away in the night. The east wind carrieth him away, and he departed.
And what's that east wind? The east wind, the nuclear missiles. All right, the Lord will describe. It's a melting wind, and it says it's going to take terrors on him as waters. It's going to be like an overflowing flood.
And as a storm hurleth him out of his place. For the Most High shall cast upon him and not spare. He would fain flee out of his hand. Men shall clap their hands at him and shall hiss him out of his place.
Yep.
It's like you see the movie Planet of the Apes, man. The original. You had apes representing apes, Israel, right? And you saw we just that. They would take some of this, we're gonna be just like Job. We're gonna be ran out of the earth. We're gonna, be that fugitive and vagabond that we always meant to be. All right.
John, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 41 and verse 5. The children of sinners are abominable children.
Right. And we looking all around at children of sinners, man. Okay? They forefathers was sinful men, man. And they had little demon babies, man. All right? And that's why they look at us with that demonic guy's stare. They might ask it, give you that little Edomite smile, and,
Some Edomites actually don't know, man. They don't know what. When we see it, we know. They don't know why they have that cringe, but it's from. Well, what's the scripture say about how the bones are full of the sin of his youth? This goes back thousands of years worth of hate. It's so spiritual and raw that it actually comes and manifests when they're born again. They're estranged from the womb, and they may smile, but it's a demonic smile. It's a cringe, and
It's like they strain sometimes to get that smile. You can tell it's fake.
Yep.
You may smile back and like, yeah, but we know what y'all thinking in y'all mind, man. What
y'all, like
conversations y'all have back home.
It's like they're glitching. They're like, they. But it's that truth that's getting them.
And it's ingrained in their spirit, man.
Yep.
Ezekiel 35 and 5, where they had a perpetual hatred for it, man.
Yep.
Perpetual,
forever.
It's an undying hatred, man.
Yep.
So, you got it.
John, Sirach 41, and I'm going to start at verse 5 again. The children of sinners are abominable children.
Abominable.
Filthy.
Filthy. I don't know all the adjectives do with that word.
Yep, detestable, filthy, excretion, atrocious.
Hey, and they try to throw that title on us of black. you know, which goes into everything vile, evil, and disgusting. You know, and then them, they got light. You know, but it's really reversed, man. You know?
Well, it says that they slandered thine own mother's son. So that's that, all that, what do you call it? The becoming an astonishment and a proverb, a byword.
Yeah. You know, I was watching some, you know, documentaries earlier, man. It was just, you know, going back in the slavery time, the shit they were doing, man. Stuff would bring tears to your eyes. You know? They ain't had no type of remorse and mercy.
Sirach 41:5, the children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish.
Right. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish. You know, they got all this these benefits, you know, but it's all gonna perish, man. They ain't gonna be able to hold on to that and constantly give to their children for the next generation, you know, perpetually, man. All right, it's a cutoff point at some point. You know, you'll see them all the time. So you like babies and shit. The baby got a mad look at shit. You know, but it's like look at a little chicken guy.
The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach.
You're reading it.
So
I told him to get another scripture.
Right, when we establish upon the Lord's return, they gonna have a perpetual reproach in the kingdom. Man. We gonna look down on them. We gonna be like, these people, you know? We gonna go through all the list of their wickedness, and every time we think about it, we gonna just go to wherever we got them, you know, stacked up at, and, you know, whoop their ass, man. You know?
First,
just for the hell of it.
doesn't it say in Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, talks about us meditating on the Torah. And that's what we're going to be doing in the future. Meditating on it.
Yeah, you know, they getting their little rejoice on, man. Hey, live it up while you can, man. That's all I can say, man. You know, go cash out, you know, 401k, whatever, you know, being riotously. What you gonna do?
Verse 7, the children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake.
Right, and, you know, they got, you know, you said Black Lives Matter thing, that's a good thing. You know, you got a lot of Edomites that joined to that. You got a lot of Edomites one came up, which might be a Jay brother was saying, but, you know, they complain of, you know, ungodly father, you know? And they trying to appease, I think Job 20 and 10, the children shall seek the peace of poor. You know, so that's what they doing, man. But that's not, hey, that can't replace hundreds of years of slavery, man, harmful captivity, man. You know? They thinking they could just say sorry and that's going to, even if they gave us reparations, that's not going to do nothing to restore us, you know, mentally.
Well, did you see that article that Rarai Yashar Allah Yahweh Shai coming back put out? They decided to put out a study of whether to give reparations to us for what they did in slavery. But then they said it took less than 24 hours to pass a stimulus package plan for the Ukraine of like 1 billion or something like that. But you know,
It just shows you the hate.
yeah,
That's hatred.
yeah.
Right there, that's hatred. You clearly know you've done people wrong, and that's why the recompense is going to be from the Lord. So the Lord is going to pay us back, and that's why the Lord is set up where there ain't going to be no reparations. The Lord ain't going to put the spirit on this devil to give us reparations. Hell no. Because that means y'all just going to go back to sleep.
It's called retribution, man. Basically, you gotta restitute something for doing something wrong. But like this brother made a comment to add on to what you were reading about the ungodly father. When it happens to Esau, man, that's why Esau's going to be asking, like, well, why are we being destroyed in this time? Why, you know, these pretty little girl that walking down and skipping and shit, she's going to be asking, well, what do I do? Well, you did some shit, man. And your forefathers did, you know, and so you're going to be paid back for it. Because that judgment happened during the time when you were back in your past life. Yep.
Verse 8, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction.
Right. They shall build what I will throw down. Like Scripture say, man. You know, so They be constantly increasing and, you know, whatever. Every now and again, you'll see, well, all the time, you'll see new projects going up, new buildings, you know, but you heaping up treasures for the last days, man. All that's going to be cashed down.
For example, this place right here. It's like turn the camera. It's like an oasis for Esau. You go up in there, man, you might sit there drinking, laughing, having a great yayo time. You know? Hey, like what we're talking about, man. Live it up. It's about to be torn down.
Sirach 41 and 9. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And if ye die, Salaki.
Well, they say they can be born to a curse. You know, the wicked are estranged from the womb. You know, so they estranged, they cursed right when they born, man. They born into a curse. You know, just like we born into a blessing. You know, even though right now it look like we born, you know, we in a curse, but you know, curse is being lifted.
And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Luke 16, starting verse 19. You know, because that's I'm going to touch on it real quick.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16 and verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day.
Right. That's Esau, man. The elites. All right. They living it up, man. They got the fatness of the earth like they was promised back in Genesis, man. That blessing. You know? They able to travel wherever they want to. You know, like you got different levels to it, but by and large, they still. Yeah.
Verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
Right. We represent Lazarus, man. You know, at a lower state. Yeah.
Which was laid at his gate full of sores.
Right.
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Right. And you know, you got Jake that's still asking for reparations, marching in the street, all of that, man. You know, still to this very day, man. You know? So that's speaking about us. Yeah.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
Right. The dogs was talking about feeding the nation. They came and looked at swords and Egypt, man. You know? Benefiting off of it. You got in the hood, you know, everything, you know, messed up, but then you got stores where heathens working at, and they living good in the hood. So that's crazy. And then when we go and try to establish something, it's gone in like less than a year, you know. Well, we know that's part of the curses. The scriptures say that they shall get up, the stranger that is within thee shall get up very high, thou shalt come down very low. You know, so they look at the story.
Verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by an angel. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
Right. So, you know, Lazarus, what is it? Wisdom of Solomon 2? When the righteous prayers they're in roughly paraphrasing. But you know, that it's a blessing, you know, upon our death, you know. But to the wicked, it's not so.
Yeah. Why should this devil, man, who's been living, you know, voluptuously and lavishly and elegant, why should he be, you know, healed? He's lived it up. He got his consolation. But we over here, we suffering. We are in straits. We are in difficult situations all the time, oppressed as fuck. And the Lord, and then the image I want to push out of God being this all-loving God and he helps support, we're the fucking poor. We are, you know, we're the ones that are actually going through the criteria of what y'all people, you know, standardize as, you know, what deserves to be saved or delivered from. That's us, man. So that's how you know that we're the poor man. We're Lazarus. They're the rich man.
Right. And you know, you got Jake that'll be all sentimental over Esau. You know, when you say his judges, you know, they feel some type of way. But here it is, man. The devil, like brothers and sisters, man, living lives. Living it up. Why do you partake in our kingdom, you know, still living in that same level, man? You know? It just don't work like that.
Revelations talks about Babylon's raiment being like the fine purple linen. That represents an extravagant lifestyle. They were elevated. You know, that's why they set their nest among the stars. They lived an elevated status their entire existence. You've never heard about the so-called white man ever living or struggling or being in captivity. So, you know.
Huh? So now you have.
Verse 23, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment.
Right. So in the kingdom, you're going to be in hell, man. Hell is a condition, right? Unlike they preaching or white attacking Christian churches, man. Hell.
And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom.
Right. They're going to be tormented, man, in the kingdom, right? They're going to be envious of
Abraham
and like cried, you know.
For I am tormented in this flame.
Yep.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Whose phone is this? Tasman's.
That's the main thing, man. Okay? The world is gonna be
He got a
reversed,
weird
man.
phone. Look at this. It's going to 66. Why is it not saying 1 hour?
Revelation 13 and 9.
Verse 26, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence.
Right, so, hey, the conditions is going to be firmly set in the kingdom, man. All right? You might say to be able to, you know, you got GLCC that's talking about, or either might show some type of person, they're going to be, you know, what'd you say? Like, let's give them a pass.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they can, yeah, he's saying they can.
Or we're going to show them a little bit of sympathy. Nah, man.
You might be able to just chill in the castle and shit like.
Or it's like you don't think there's gonna be thoughts of revolt. You think that these Edomites are gonna try to band together. You know what? Maybe we'll get him when he's asleep. Get your pitchforks, try to sneak into the kingdom and stab his ass. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
After a while, you're gonna have Edomite prophets raised up in our kingdom prophesying about like no, you know, they gonna be in that condition for 1,000 years and then wiped off the map. Right, because that cancer got to be removed from the earth.
Yep.
I got a precept just to I'm going to read it and then. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein. That goes into the Israelites, you know, those who get the promises, you know, that are spoken of in Romans the 9th chapter, you know. And the temple of the Most High, like I just said, goes into the Israelites. Verse 2, but the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, like we just read in Lazarus 19 and 26, there's a great gulf fixed. You're not going to be able to come into the gates, man. You know, you're going to be cut off. You're going to be cut off from that temple. For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,264 days, clothed with sackcloth. Most importantly, the elect.
Hold on, I think once.
Did you want me to still bring out Isaiah 40 and 31?
Wrong with it. Oh no, it's going now. It's going. It just froze for a second. It said it couldn't connect, but I guess it's going again.
Yeah, it should be good.
It said I'm able to connect. Okay, okay, okay.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
It's talking about the elect. During the whole destruction, right? Everything that up until the leading destruction of America, man, right? The elect are going to be sustained. When we get to the kingdom, we're going to have that perpetual energy forever. Spiritual power that's going to be eternity. And it's going to be because we trusted in Yahweh Shai, right? We trusted to the end. Everything will be okay, right? You know, even though we were in a pitiful case, it all seemed like, you know, help was done. You know, I was watching the movie, what's it called? As Above So Below last night. And you know, as I said, they said, abandon all hope. Oh, man. We live in a place where your hope can be abandoned. You know, like that fucking Jake that came up earlier, the one that came by last week too? Yeah. You know, and he's in a pitiful case, man. You know? He's abandoned all hope. You know? We're not doing that, man. That's what happens. That's what happens to you when you lose all hope. You become a simp. Right. You become destroyed. You become a drunk. You know?
Yeah. Hey, that's man. I know a few people, man. They just yeah, pitiful case.
Yeah, we know. We can all say we all know people. I know people, man, that they just fucking lost it. This place tore their ass apart. Yeah. This is and what I was saying earlier. You said hell was a condition. Well, that's just true. Man. Hell is a condition for us right now. So we live in it.
Hey, man, the water y'all was shy for the comforter because that's what the comforter's for. Well, you know. I said that's what the comforter is for. You know, to bring you comfort in this hellhole. You know, and that by what? Having that faith. You know what I'm saying? Those things that are unseen, man. Having that faith, man. That hope. In the salvation that the Lord is promising you, you know. If we didn't have that, well, man, we'd really be out here bad, bro, just like the rest of them. So the water y'all bought me, I was shot for that, man.
I had a precept just regarding it. You spoke on how our people are just completely destroyed. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, and verse 22. And it reads, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Hey, Jake's attitude, man, is to give up. You know, rather than deal with the problem, deal with the issue the right way, because, you know, we're talking about these movements, these plans, trying to get reparations, man, that's not the way to go. You're trying to build in a burning house. Right. That's not how you're supposed to do it, man. You're supposed to trust God. And that's the thing, man. Jake doesn't know where to turn. There's no comfort. Hey, man, the scriptures, Solomon said that he saw upon the sun a wickedness that there were intercessors for them. Well, we found it. We finally got it. It took some time. We just had to wait. And it manifested something. It was who the work for Jesus Christ. And then he said that when he left, he was going to leave behind his spirit, right, compiled in the volume of the book. And that was going to be your help and your comfort. And so, go ahead and read that again.
Jeremiah 4 and 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me.
Yes, but you don't know who that comfort is. You don't know who the intercessor is now. All right? You don't know how about Shai? Jeremiah, what is it? John 17:3 says that for life eternal is to know the only true power is in the Son. And you don't know it, man. This is why you're destroyed. All right? Read it again about
Jeremiah 4 and 22, for my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children.
Yeah, sottish, and the word sottish means to be incredibly stupid. You are stupid, man. You don't. Right? You indulge and you take part in things that have nothing to do with anything. It gets you nowhere. It actually just puts you in repeat. Because that's what America does. And America has geared their minds to indulge in the same excessive decadence, right? Immoral cultural behavior. That's why everybody's fat, everybody's stupid, everybody's dumb, everybody's lazy, all right?
Walking pork knuckles, man.
The average middle-class Edomite, man, is lazy and stupid as hell, man.
Yeah.
They have gotten...
Well, that's...
What is saying Isaiah we read earlier, man, that they're like a heifer that's full of the grass. Yeah, man, the Americans are living it up. But to Jake, you know, that's what Jake wants to aspire to. Jake wants to get to that level of confidence.
I mean,
that's why they're so, and you see how hard they gotta try to do that shit, man. They have to try so fucking hard, man. And then when they finally get, they think they about to get that shit, and that shit just ripped from them like a person, I don't know, like a dog trying to get meat.
You know, the commercial at the dollar said, Hey, but I was gonna say, it's a spirit of greedy, gluttonous. It's a greedy, gluttonous spirit in America, man. And like, hey, this place is ready for the slaughter. It's fat right now. It's fattened, you know.
That's your point. Thinking about how Jake joins his society and be seduced. Proverbs 12:26 says the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him.
Yeah. If you knew the way, if you knew the process of what your health is actually doing, or what he wants, and what he's trying to do with your people, you would understand that that was a way more excellent way. But instead, you think like we just had a time episode today of telling you which is not the right way, but you're seduced because you see, well, they look better. You know, they look more powerful. That looks more right. But at the end of it, it's there. Hey, what is saying? Probably that there's a way that's the right turn to do that. And this way of America is that way. It's only been thought of after a man. It's not the way that the Lord told us to do it. The Lord told us, pursuing that Ezekiel 44 and 24, that when you conduct any type of business, you're supposed to go according to His ways and ordinances.
Like I'm trying to get this word, but seduce is ta'ah, the Hebrew, and it says to err, wander, go astray, to stagger.
You know, that goes to goes into staggering of the one, man. You've been seduced by the one.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. It says of intoxication. Look at that.
Yeah, man. And Jake, we already know how much he loves to drink, man. Look how much his philosophy. You know, he's drinking on his own. Right? Man, we're like, again, we're lower than the lowest. Right? We used to be set on high. If you go into Lamentations, the first chapter, I think like the first verse. Come on. Let me see. Let's see if it's going to continue. So,
Okay, well, you did the right thing.
Okay, come.
All right, so this is intoxication, and it says wonder to be made wonder about to stagger a drunkard. Drunkard the philosophy of Esau, man. That's why they can't get it. They can't detach. Because they so indulged, so invested in society. What is it? 2 Corinthians, man. You know? 2 Corinthians 4 and 3 to 4. If our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, to whom the God of this world hath blinded them. So Jacob is blinded by that seduction of Esau.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 10. We broke for the wall like the blind. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 9. Okay, Isaiah 59:4. None calleth for justice, nor any pleaded for truth.
Right, this is the whole oikoumene, all the inhabitants. All right.
They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. Verse 5, they hatch cockatrice eggs and weave the spider's web.
Because everybody has this idea, and well, they used to, I don't know, I'm pretty sure they don't have it anymore. At one point in time, you come to America, you have people come from other countries because they were told this this lie about living it up or making an American dream, where life was better in America. But as soon as they come over, they find out it's a lie. They come into debt, they lose whatever they may have had or they value, and then when they seek help, it's not there. They're caught up in that whole web of lies. They're caught up in that web that was formed, that America formed.
Right, that the morals go out the window.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
They lose structure.
Yep.
Through that liberty. You know, the land of the liberty.
It says Isaiah 59:5. They hatch cockatrice eggs and weave the spider's web. He that eateth of their eggs dieth, and that which is crushed breaketh out into a viper.
You're left helpless. Like we were talking about, man. You know, especially when it comes to Jake. You know, what could have been a sincere Jake ends up turning out to become a bastard, man. He becomes, like you just said, he abandons all moral hope.
Verse 6, their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands.
And why is it like this? Because the one who rules, right, the one who's pushing all this violence, right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And so you got our people being seduced by that same spirit. All right, and they see that Esau was violent. They see the so-called white man was violent. He got what he wanted. So they're like, well, let me do it the same way. Let me see if I can be just like them, so I can fit in and get my dreams fulfilled.
And that whole thug image was created. You know, that's just Jake mimicking Esau.
Yeah.
Because Esau, he's the ultimate thug, man. You know, the ultimate drug dealer, the ultimate, you know, everything Jake do is just on a lesser level.
You can actually research the origin of gangs. It started by white people and Asians.
Yeah.
Verse 7, their feet into evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their going.
Because this whole entire population is savage, right? Because they learned it from their father, Esau. Esau taught them how to be incredibly stupid. Because he's incredibly stupid. Go ahead.
They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace.
And the peace is actually held by Shema Shah. Because the crooked paths are keeping you from seeing the actual straight paths. All right?
Verse 9, therefore is judgment far from us, neither doth justice overtake us. We wait for light, but behold obscurity.
You keep that narrative and that, or all of that just going. All right, all that darkness, you help push it. Jake keeps the darkness going, man, because they don't want to turn away and go to the light. They don't want to go and seek the right path.
We wait for light, but behold obscurity, for brightness, but we walk in darkness. We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes.
Because you're drunk, you're intoxicated. All right? You don't know the right way. And that's because you want to stay in this immoral, dark, wicked way of life that is being taught by the so-called white man. So at the end of the day, man, I mean, Jake has no excuse for being stupid. Jake has no excuse for being wicked. All right? Because you don't want to turn from that way. So what's going to happen? You're going to be destroyed for it. All right? 2/3 of our people, because you want to fall in line with the wicked, you're going to meet that same judgment. All right? At the end of the day, America's going to be destroyed. 2/3 of these people on the side are going to be destroyed. Anybody else with a problem with this, the word of Yahweh outside. Right? But I guess with that, we'll go ahead and, down here in the history. But okay, well with that, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakudash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and much love, honors and blessings to the Akim, the elect. All right. Yahweh, Hashem, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.
No, shit.
Cross your hand.